Hello there everyone and welcome back. It is time to play with some Tyranids, and I will be honest, I am a little trepidatious about playing with this fleet just because of that dang invisibility bug that tends to happen when my ships are concealed. It's going to make it very problematic to kind of make this an enjoyable video, I want to argue, just because half my fleet could be completely invisible, and not only for viewing experience that's going to be problematic, but it is going to affect seeing where my arcs are, knowing when I can actually entangle things with my tentacles, since that's kind of the fleet I'm going to be utilizing. Never mind, I don't even think it's going to showcase the torpedo arcs if I try and use it with my cruisers that I'm also utilizing. There's a lot of uncertainties here. This could go abysmally, but the fleet itself is kind of pretty promising. Very technical, a lot of control is required to manage this fleet, especially since we have so many frigates, most of which are Krakens, mind you, so the health regeneration is going to be amazing for them, so long as they're not easy pickings. I want to try and have them do their troop damage with the tentacles, and ideally just boost on out before they get mutilated by a bunch of macro cannons or heavy lance batteries. Definitely going to be tricky with the lance batteries, but if they can outlast the scanner pulse that are put on them, should they be revealed, at least the chameleonic skin can be helpful there. Although, it could be argued this might be a bit of a crutch at some point, especially if there's a lot of Astra Belter gas clouds that I can utilize normally. So I'm going to have to seriously think on maybe swapping out at this some point. Although, I so slenderly play with specific fleets for more than in rapid succession, it's going to be hard to really even learn new habits, even if it really doesn't matter at this point with no updates kind of being present with Battlefleet Gothic at the moment. Either way, let's hopefully have ourselves a good time. Hopefully. Space Marines, this is going to be fun. Boarding damage versus boarding damage, and who knows what other tricks they have up their sleeve, since torpedoes straight up could kill my ships really quickly with some good use of a disruption bomb maybe for destroying my shields, since after all, my point defense on the Tyranids is kind of tied to my shields. So if they're able to get a good broadside of torpedoes in, that's going to really hurt. I don't very often get to fight against Space Marines in general, so I'm kind of uncertain how this is going to play out, but I should have theoretically a good advantage, but their mobility can make that problematic. Now let me actually group these properly, because one of my Krakens goes with the Hive ship just for the sake of control group simplicity. As I said, this is a very complicated fleet with a lot of moving pieces. Alright, where's my now I lost my train of thought. Where were we? Well, I was going to say I was going to have the drones kind of grab the points and actually have one of the drones in the wrong group here. So let's fix that. Group 4 there, Group 5, Group 6. And simply put, these guys are just going to grab the objectives for me, which gives me a little more freedom to be everywhere else. Hopefully. Ideally. Although I don't want to be anywhere near the objective for pretty much that reason alone, just because it gives them an easy window to kind of just throw a beacon over here. Let's get this started. And let's see, I am not the server host, but the one thing I learned about the dang rushes is whoever is the host can hear the rushing Tyranids. Okay. So let's experience the opponents, what this tells me, due to the fact that the frigates are, well, they're boosting, so it's not really that big of a deal, I suppose. They just weren't assault running. And the vanguards aren't assault running either. Battle barge will be fun to play with. But I don't think I'm going to be able to grab this point very well. But I can cripple. Let's see, I am mindful about where the fighters are going. I would love nothing more than to rush and kill off the crew there.
Seized a strategic area.
But at the same time, yeah, this kind of works well for them without their aggressive posture. My drone's not going to be able to grab that middle point there, but again, it can cripple off some of the crew a bit, which is going to be nice. Actually, yeah. I can't rush, but I'll be close to boarding you pretty soon. And even though you reveal my ships, I have chameleonic skin for easy means to just grab this, and nothing else was revealed. So that's kind of fine by me. If I could get some boring damage, that'd be nice, but I think it's too late. Can I get more boring damage? Because I can dodge that pretty well. I'm grabbing this point just fine. And at the same time, mobility is going to be a bit of a problem trying to stick with these tentacles. But the damage is kind of lackluster. Insignificant at the moment. And they do have 2 land strike cruisers. Really, no upgrades. I'm imagining both these are on the strike cruiser at the moment. Or not the strike cruiser, but the battle barge. Which I'm kind of fine with. Actually, let's spread out the torpedoes. They do have the scanner pulse, that's fine. And they actually are saw running a little bit. So that's kind of good. Can I... Yeah, let's just grab some more of this crew. We could kill off another portion of it really well. Let's take this slow and steady. Because unless they're boarding me, they're not really all that terrifying to these strike cruisers right now. So I would love nothing more than to just kill another portion of this fleet. Or the crew at least. So I'm just waiting for a tentacle. Okay, a tentacle did all this damage already. That's what I was wondering about. I don't even need my flagship way up here, but it's scaring them off. Sadly, I didn't get quite the boring damage I would like. And eventually... Oh, come on. All my ships are... Yeah, now that they're invisible, I'm having a really difficult time knowing the arcs of them for the sake of movement. But slowly but surely, I can harass them. And actually, this drone could just grab this point for me. I would have liked to have killed another third of the crew for that Nova, but that's not a problem. Chameleonic Skin's going to be active in a moment. And we're going to try and harass some more of these frigates. Actually, just grab this point as a bonus. Yeah, sadly I should have made sure I was in range, but... Because I don't think my tentacles did nearly as much as they could have, but they are really scared right now. And it's kind of part of the plan. Just keep boarding. Cripple what I can, because their long-range firepower isn't all that terrifying. Sadly, I don't think I stuck with any amount of boarding damage. Yeah, you can scanner pulse all you want. That's not helping a whole lot. And dang it, these guys got revealed, I guess, too. I could still harass this battle barge pretty well. I just gotta wait for my cooldowns to come back up for more boring damage. Since I have chameleonic skin, we're gonna have a lot of ships coming in pretty soon. I'm just wondering what revealed these ships. Because I thought they were in the gas cloud all this time, but maybe that was just badly timed on me grabbing the objective.
You have seized a strategic area.
That's right, just keep on going. I am going to take a little bit of boring damage, but I do have the means to dash out at least in a moment. Right? Okay. The timer did not work as I liked. Alright, now's our chance to do some damage here. It's not going to be very impressive damage, because the Krakens are isolated, but we're going to have the points pretty soon. I'm just curious still on the upgrade. Actually, I don't have a Spore Bomb. I would like to conceal these guys a little bit more. But, let's see. Let's get the drone over here. That drone's got that point, so you get up there.
The enemy has accumulated 25%
And just chameleonic scan this.
points.
Ideally. Oh, I should not have done that because that was a bad combination. Oh, and that is also unfortunate because the tail kind of is hitting each other. Alright, I'm in a position to grab some points though. So I might as well do that.
Seized a strategic area.
You're gonna play hard to get, that's fine. Just get me in the gas cloud already. While they do some glancing shots. Yeah, this is really annoying because every time I rush, I go with the assumption that it's turning off my burn retros. Hold position, but that's not really true, sadly. Alright. So they're identified, that's fine. They still have to do something about this still. Because my frigates are still dangerous. You can move really rapidly in a good spot. So I'm not too worried about the flagship getting too isolated just yet. So that gets moving there. We're going to get some reinforcements pretty soon, but I need to do some more boring damage. I am messing up a little bit with my controls some. And they don't even have disruption overcharge at the moment. Yeah, you just keep hiding there. A weird game of cat and mouse, which I'm kind of fond of, but I am losing the war of attrition due to my bad control right now. But with 5 points to my name, I think we're still doing pretty good. The points are going to crank up really quick. I just got to keep an eye on my crew, so that way I can recharge them some. And I am curious about the battle barge. If it probably has all the upgrades, more than likely. But sadly, they are hearing all this rushes, which, considering how much of a mess this is, might not be too significant yet. Yet, I say. And since they're not solid running, I would love to kill the engines on that Vanguard for an easy picking.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Because they're pincer in the corner right now, I just have to stall pretty much. Alright, so you get out there. You get out, everyone get out. We did our boring damage we need to, that thing is limping. Come on, oh you can't rush. And sadly, another one of my ships died due to boring damage.
Strategic points.
Now, where I don't think you're going to survive the fire assault, sadly. So we'd like to grab some points here. But you're going to get in the gas clouds in a moment. And now, let's deal with our friends here. I would actually I probably should go after the frigate, but this should work well enough. Because I have boarding available. I have means to board them. I shouldn't have boarded the same thing, mind you. But that works either way. And since you were marked, I can't really benefit off you the best, but that's a lot of boring damage. Retreat everything. Recover. Kraken should still barely survive. And now, I want to go in for the kill on these cruisers. You're about to melt. That's pretty good there. I do need to start grabbing points, but who do I have available for grabbing points right now? Because actually I have quite a phenomenal lead. They're about to lose their fleet. Oh, I want to move with the flagship. That was not what I wanted. But I guess whatever works. And you could board and potentially kill off the rest of that fleet there. And I gotta have my shields try and dissolve them a bit too, which will be nice. And I am running out of crew, which is a big risk here. But I should be okay. The big question is foil lurker. When do I foil lurker? Because I'm about to get a lot of crew damage right now on the battle barge. And I do have the spine sack, so I'm actually going to watch for this appropriately. Time this properly. God dang it. Why did that have to fail on me? So recharge the crew there, that's fine. Actually, just permanently destroy the engines, I guess, although why did my foil lurker fail there, I want to know. I do honestly want to know.
You are close to victory by
Because there was no ships in the way, was there? That I'm aware of? Because that's the only reason foil lurker would fail, is if there was actually a ship in the way of where it was jumping to. But there's enough crew damage that this should be dead. And actually, just for the sake. Okay. Do you have yeah, you had all your upgrades on that. And the yeah, the Kulex's assassin probably was not going to do you a whole lot here, sadly. So they did have the Admiral level ups, at least to an extent. But that was definitely a fun match. Not something I was honestly expecting. Now, let me actually get my reload stance up so that way I could dissolve the armor a little bit more. Although, I guess my opponent is not really happy of how things turned out there. That is kind of the reason why I have friggin' Krakens for this fleet. The boarding damage is actually useful, even though it was really hard to stick them with the high mobility of their fleet. But the health regeneration in their armor makes them incredibly durable. They sadly, again, probably did not do a whole lot there. They honestly would have served a lot better just grabbing points for me. If I had to judge how it could have done that better, that match. Ooh, now we get to play with the other side of the spectrum as we face off against Chaos. The boarding's going to be really nice here, but how worried am I about lance weaponry or even their bombers? since the Chaos Bombers can do a ridiculous amount of damage to me, as kind of made apparent when I was playing with my Stake Fleet against Tyranids before. It is a bit of a drawn out process since I have to make sure that the shields are ideally crippled, because again, the shields are tied with the point defense of the Tyranids, and good god do they have a lot of point defense if they're fully charged up. Actually, I'm losing my train of thought again, dang it. What is my plan? Well, the drones are going to grab the 2 initial points, and that gives me the freedom to... Let's see, you're group 6. Yeah, the entire overlay just changed over on the right here. But yeah, the drones are going to grab the points there. Slow process, but it gives nothing away. The boring torpedoes ideally are going to do an absurd amount of boring damage if I can get a good arc on them. And then remainder is the Krakens, which I'm wondering where what the odd Kraken out was. There we go. Where do I place you though? I'm a little worried about having the flagship by itself, but with the sheer mobility it has to bring, that in theory may not be a terrible thing. I just gotta not be so aggressive with it, which means to help that some, I should have it just deployed back a bit. Since I do have that mindset to just float them forward, which probably does me no good. Now, what do we have here? A mix of everything. That's all I can really tell you. A handful of ships that are not solid running as well. Yep, 4 frigates there. Okay, unfortunately another less experienced opponent, but we only got like 3, maybe 4 capital ships at the same time. And I'm not the host, so they're gonna hear this rushes when I get moving like this. And I am kind of wondering how the blue nebula, like the ion storm or solar flare, whatever is going on in the background, how that's affecting the video quality. I know reds like the Eye of the Omniscion and other effects like that really mess with it, but I don't know about blue. And I did not pay attention where the beacon was, which is going to be a little problematic to see as well. Where is the beacon? I hope I'm not crazy. I don't see a beacon anywhere, which scares me a bit. Don't tell me the beacon's invisible right now. I would not like that one bit. But I'm fine with grabbing points. It'll bait them into a false sense of security. Actually, I think I want these 5 ships to grab the ones on the right, if possible. But where is the beacon? There you are. Okay, so it did come from the right. Why did I not see that, I wonder? And I don't really want to rush over there, because if they hear it, then they know that I'm going to try an aggressive play. That's the one odd thing to make note of regarding this type of fleets. Since I don't know if they're going to take into account. Yeah, and the bombers are currently invisible, so I had no idea what their sensor range was. Okay, they're not invisible, it's just another weird glitch there in the system. So they have lots of lances. I would like to do boarding damage. We'll see how this comes along. I should be trying to focus, but I can take these hits pretty well. Dang it, the cruisers did get revealed though.
The enemy has seized a strategic area.
Due to my lack of concentration, but this could go really well for me in a moment. So just board the flagship. Yeah, if they're going to be distracted by this, then let's give them something to worry about. Oh, frigates are going to be annoying. But are these the ones with... Okay, these are ones with... if the ships get destroyed, that a lot of damage results happen. Which I'm fine with. I'm just going to kill off the crew, ideally. Now, if I could aim the torpedoes properly, that'd be nice. So you're crippled, that's fine. This is a bit of a weird exchange, because I probably should have boarded. Oh! Why did I not see that stasis bomb, I wonder? And just dissolve all these ships. Yeah, they're gonna do a bunch of damage, but I don't think I really care. Due to how their upgrades work. So long as this flagship's alive, I'm not really in danger of anything. As far as morale's concerned. And they do boarding damage. They could kill off the Krakens though, to be fair, but the cruisers are perfectly fine. This just sadly is probably not the right fleet to use said fleet for against. Just because of my absurd amount of what is it, troop value. It is a pretty powerful fleet. This is just not the optimal version of said, was it, suicide frigates, basically. Oh, that's going to take bomber damage. If I'm so lucky, maybe. Dang it, I want you to recharge, so now I think they're too close. Yeah. Sadly, that's going to take a lot of bomber damage.
Accumulated 25% of strategic points.
It is going to survive, but at what cost? Because now, if this ship dies, then I'm going to have a lot of morale problems. But the shields are up. That's part of the reason why that could be so scary, but kill off the crude air. I could take the hits. Flagship will be safe in a moment. And in all honesty, I probably should have used the gas cloud here, but of course it's a... And I had my own spore field, I just realized. Maybe I could have used that to deny getting hit. But you are perfectly safe now. The frigates are all gone, so there goes their one main strength. And actually, Krakens, I'm just going to have you grab points for me. And they do have a beacon, that's not a problem, because I can jump around still. And then go after this last ship. And hopefully I'll be out of vision range by then. But I do want to keep the feeder tentacles ready for when they reactivate the ships. Like right now.
You have seized a strategic area.
Alright. So you're deactivated for the time being. We're just gonna grab points and just outlast this Oh yeah, they just reactivate the Grand Cruiser because of the battleship kind of losing its own crew due to the tentacles. Actually, let's recharge everything. Brain is temporarily damaged. I did not notice how much crew damage I took. But let's just cripple everything. Since they are pretty Olympian at this point. And any ship you reactivate is pretty much gone.
Of strategic points.
This is over. It should be over. There's always a risk of me losing my ship, though. Or flagship if I'm not careful. Just don't ram each other, please. And am I in the clear? Since you're blowing up your own ships for me. Which is a mighty generous thing to do. And your engines are gone too, so you are screwed. You are limping. Aw, you actually had to die on me, so you couldn't grab the point. Oh well, we know what to do with this final ship. Oh, can I boost away? I have point defense. I did launch boring torpedoes, but point defense will cripple them enough. Yep, it just got rid of all of them. That is game. Nom 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 nom. Actually, yeah, that fleet could do really well destroying my Krakens. The only catch is they have to suicide their own frigates to destroy said Krakens. And my cruisers are still in phenomenal shape, despite the demonic infestation. But yeah, newer opponents, so unfortunately, I hope I didn't give them too much of a bad time. I'm really hoping at least. Okay, our adversary is nothing more than a question mark at this point. But apparently we're dealing with a lot of Imperium and Chaos Imperium, or at least Traitor Imperiums, this session. But we will see how this match plays out regardless. Since I have no idea if this is a newer opponent or if they know what they're doing or not. Although, that Space Marine match was still fun, it was definitely different than what I was expecting, especially with Space Marines. I'm just thankful. Why are you not moving? Is there something I'm missing? I can't move any of my units. This is a bit problematic. Oh god, is it one of these matches? Is this what this is? I think I know what's going on now. I think I encountered this once before and I'm terrified of encountering it again for this. Oh well. I think I know what to expect. I'll explain more when it actually starts, because I worry. If it's as I think it is, my opponent's suffering from the same thing. Which probably doesn't help them a whole lot, because my entire fleet's invisible, so they can't really auto-engage or move on me. This is going to the middle of the map, isn't it? Yes, it is. So, I gotta remember, what was the cancel order? Backspace? Ah, party pooper. Ah, well. I knew how to deal with this, but as stupid as this may sound, I dealt with this before as Eldari, the Ashuriani, and surprisingly, I won that match too, with really good use of the retreat order, auto-engage, and other priorities. I can't remember how exactly it works, but I think just for the sake of it, I might even link that match just so you can actually see how it actually plays out. Since sadly we were robbed of a very entertaining battle. Okay, we get a rematch here. Although, it remains to be seen if they changed their fleet to kind of prepare for me or not. As I believe, they're going to have that convenience to actually prepare ahead of time. I'm only guessing at least, but it remains to be seen if we're going to have that issue again. That could have been fun. Okay, so they're the problem. We'll just place our problems on them, since I only had that happen once. Either way. Fun aside, let me get everyone grouped up. And let me remember my control groups. But yeah, I'm pretty confident I would have lost that match just because of how reliant my fleet is on avoiding direct confrontation. And as that would not have allowed me to kind of retreat or rush away, I'm pretty certain that would have denied me that. Considering how we saw how the move order worked, I would have been forced to go right in there and try to board the hell out of all of them, and hopefully I could do the troop damage before they actually murder me. which can be pretty tricky, because a little bit of... all they have to do is change their engagement to their prow, and they basically get really easy rams on me. I want to argue at least. I'm still not... don't have my control groups either, so let's keep that in mind. I'm just reminiscing on what could have been. Just a slight bit. And I do want to spread out and be mindful of the beacon. And I am the server host, which means the rushes will be audible this time. I'm pretty certain that's the case. As I've learned. Yep. So I could very easily abuse this. And just not. Okay, so a bunch of dictators. Like I said, they probably prepared for me. I already kind of predicted this. Now, how do we deal with this is the question. Because I think the Krakens are just going to go over here. And I think I just want to try and fly directly at them. Yeah, they're just doing a fighter screen vision. That's fine. I will just take my time. In all honesty, I am wondering if I want to send one of these cruisers over to grab the objectives or not. To help speed this along, ideally. Oh yeah, this is the wrong Kraken group. Ideally, I want to start softening up these guys. Oh, they're flying. Okay, they're just screening. That's fine. I just bide my time and wait. Although, where did the beacon go with that said? I did not pay attention to the beacon. Not that it matters here so much. But I can grab the point here easily for free. And let's see, this is going to be the tricky part, knowing the blind spots. Because I'm pretty certain there's blind spots somewhere around here. If not on the side of the map, but because I can't see it, this is going to be really tricky to do, but I could probably catch them so flat-footed if I make good use of that. I just gotta be very cautious. And yeah, I'm gonna feel really bad if I win this because of all this rushing, because again, I am very silent or very quiet on their end, so they're not going to be aware of all this rushing that's going on. But we'll see. Again, patience is probably my greatest strength here, and I want to use it. If anything, they might think the majority of my fleet's on the right there. No scanner pulse, so we knew there were frigates around, but nothing was revealed yet. Yeah, it's just a shame the gas cloud's gonna reveal that I'm here. Probably. So it's not as foolproof as it could be.
You have seized a strategic area.
And I have 200 speed, do I? So yeah, I can actually tail him for a bit. Again, they do not hear this, which makes me feel bad about this. Because this could be giving them really good intel right now. Now, the Krakens are going to take a bit of a damage hit. So get going, hide in the gas cloud before the bombers do anything. Can I get more troop damage in? Alright. Time to get in there, I guess. Probably a little aggressive, but they burn so much of their combustion gauge. This might be useful, but... just don't mess up with this... Ah, dang it. I thought I could get that a little bit faster. I was a little bit slow because I messed up on the controls some, unfortunately. And that is a lot of damage that's being done on me. Now, give me my strangled tentacles, please. I'm not going to get them, sadly. The timing is kind of bad right now. If only I had got that timing a little bit better. Because now I'm just going to lose this because of the flagship getting isolated down. The fire assaults are going to kill it alone at this point. So that's a shame. Can't we at least still do some more crew damage at least? That was a mistake. If only I dodged the fire assaults, that would have been nice. That would have been really damn nice there. I just messed up a tiny bit on the control that cost me that one brief second. Ah well. Maybe it was too aggressive to try and dive there like I did too. But like I said, I get the feeling that they kind of changed their fleet to prepare against me after all. Which possibly denies us a real match there. Possibly. Hard to really say since I didn't really have time to look at what their fleet was in the previous engagement. But yeah, that would have played so much more differently if I had dodged those melted torpedoes. Just being instant faster, and I would have been really free. Half the crew would have been crippled. The only downside is maybe I didn't focus enough on a single cruiser to really have them limping. That's probably the only downside there.